Let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Today is Wednesday. Our brother Matt will not be on this Wednesday. I have my other brother, like no other. I got to come up with some more lines.
Yeah.
Mr. Aaron Wright in the building. Appreciate you for being here, Coach Aaron Wright. Let's get that straight. We also, of course, have Mr. Kaneem Curvey and Brian A. McCrory Sr. in the building. So appreciate you guys for being here. We're gonna drop this intro. We're gonna kick off. I just got one news story that's about half a second, and then we can kick right into our topic. All right, we'll be right back right after this.
Stand up.
All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Again, good morning.
Good morning.
Podcast people. Thank you guys
Good
for
morning.
with us.
Good morning.
Yes, indeed.
Mama Corey, got Lisa. What's going on, ladies? Good morning.
Yes, indeed. Good morning. So real quick,
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Breaking news. Trump is still free. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and kick off into this topic. Welcome to the Welcome to the Brothers. Don't worry, Coach. It's not gonna be a political talk because we just
it's Mental Health Wednesday, sir. It's Mental Health Wednesday. Let's explore the mind and get to it.
So again, we appreciate you being here, Coach Wright. Thank you for sharing your time with us. Today we're talking about your passion, your purpose, your plan. And we've kind of been talking about, purpose and your passion. I want to dig into how do you create a plan that assists with your passion and your purpose, if that makes sense. How do you create a plan, a layout? Because what you hear a lot about is the purpose part and the passion part, but we don't talk enough about the plan, having a plan of action and actually being able to execute and move your life forward, if that makes sense. Because you get excited, you know what you kind of want to do, but it's that actually creating an action plan that you know what to stick to in order to become what you've been called to do, if that makes sense. For you, what would be the first advice, into following your purpose and really digging into your passion, because a lot of times, with planning, you can get stuck. You get stuck like, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I can't do this because I don't have that, and you can, was it analysis paralysis, you get stuck analyzing and not really moving forward. So what's a way to really get started? Yeah, there you go. What's a good way to get started?
Well, one of the things that we always talk about is our common purpose and kind of understanding that, and from the framework that being to help the human experience to be better.
Right.
So the idea is to use that as a beginning, helping the human experience to be better, right, using your gifts and your talents. And with that framework, that's kind of where we move from in our quest to create a great journey in life. Right. So that said, there are a number of areas that need to be better. And looking at those areas, we consider all the 7 mountains or areas that we kind of embrace socially. Excuse me, guys. So again, it's really about using your gifts and your talents. One of the words that I think really expand that is a Japanese phrase called ikigai. And ikigai is your reason for being in this term. And the premise is to take what you love, understand what you're good at, understand what the world needs, and of course, what you can get paid for. Okay. And you put all four of those together and you reach this point called ikigai. So that's kind of a beginning of our approach to this journey in life and how we can create the best experience.
Gotcha. That's good. That's good.
Man, I would definitely have to explain that ikigai in order to use it in a phrase or in some type of conversation, because
yeah. I equate it to our appreciation for thriving, but this has a really neat model in the sense of, understanding that what you love, you may not be good at in terms of your endeavors in your career. At the same time, does the world really need this as an aspect, and how can that be applied? And then again, finally, can it be part of your livelihood? So it's a really great way to begin in this whole quest of helping the human experience to be better, right? And that all starts with yourself. You got to start with the first person, helping yourself to be better and to experience a great journey in life. That is where it has to start. So there's a lot of focus on self mastery and being able to move to a position of understanding what that really means. But the whole ikigai model is fantastic. And again, helping the human experience to be better is the premise.
Gotcha. So you talk about use the word self-mastery, right? And we have the term out there as well as self-care. And then it's self-mastery, right? I kind of want you to dig into that. And good morning, Mama Corey. I don't think I said good morning, Lisa. Good morning, Jeff. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Make sure you guys share. Sharing is caring, as always. When you talk about like self-mastery, is it one of those things that you're trying to navigate, like your triggers or things that set you off or get you out of pocket? Is that basically the premise of self-mastery, understanding how to be disciplined? Is that it?
Well, certainly discipline is a big part of that as an understanding, but overall, self-mastery does kind of bring focus to being able to choose your behavior in spite of how you feel. And we were made to feel, so it's not about not feeling, but the opportunity to choose your behavior regardless of how you feel is a human characteristic that in fact is one of the best qualities that we have. You can appreciate that when your emotions or your feelings are at a point that may move you to do something that you would regret. It would be ideal, of course, not to do that. And being able to discern that is an important part of self-mastery. We look at the opportunity to understand our feelings and triggers, and you really have to move that to your appreciation of your mind and how it works. So if you have a certain feeling that is triggering something in you, and you have that behavior happen, or you have that experience, self-mastery and self-awareness understands that trigger, and you're able to make a kind of a predetermined decision about what I will do if it comes up again, and choose the behavior before it happens again. And that is a aspect of self-mastery. So essentially, you tell your brain, this data, and feelings, by the way, can be seen as data from your brain. And so when you get this data, it's a matter of what will you do with it? How will you behave as it concerns that data? Will it be a conscious behavior, or will it not be? Those are some of the considerations when you think about self-mastery.
Gotcha. Reese had a good question, and this go to all you guys. Why do you think there is so much focus on the changing of others in society today? Do you feel like that's what's happening? Do you feel like there is a lot of people trying to change others and changing each other? What's your opinion? Anybody kind of jump in on that?
Oh yeah, I mean I do, man. I look at some of the media nowadays, and I guess I guess it's the evolution of society, but it seems like everybody is pushing this. Man, how can I be politically correct? Everybody is well, I ain't gonna say everybody, a lot of people
Okay.
are pushing this one gender status.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I see where you're
it's
going.
okay to be a he, she.
I got you.
It's okay to be, have no identity,
So-
don't identify with one male or female. It's just be who you are.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. I think the everything is okay. Thinking and not just in the gender section, but even like the self-care section, where you're given a pass to act a certain way because you're dealing with something, like, as opposed to like, well, help yourself fix that, change that. And I get that you're dealing with that, you're hurt in a specific way, but that doesn't give you a pass to just act a certain way, if that makes sense. I think from my standpoint on that.
What I said, or what Coach Wright was talking about.
I'm just saying, as far as the question, as far as changing others in society, everybody just be who they are based on their feeling. We just supposed to accept.
Yeah, people.
Whatever
What you're saying is people have to adjust to where you are,
right?
As opposed to what Coach Wright was just saying a minute ago about the mastery of self.
Yeah.
Your ability to adjust to your environment, as opposed to forcing your environment to adjust to where you are.
Right.
And I think that's what Reese is talking about. The emphasis on changing other people. And I think what you're talking about, Kaneem, you're right, man. It's like, oh Lord, I'm delayed again.
It's fine. We can hear you. You're good though. You're good. We'll deal with it. Podcasters don't know. Just close your eyes, everybody. Just listen.
So the point that I'm trying to make is we've got this. There's such a focus on self. Narcissism has reached an all-time high.
Yeah.
In this season, and people are more concerned with how they feel. Mental health and all of that. I do believe that the focus on mental health has caused some people to go a bit overboard.
Yes.
With I have trauma. You need to adjust to me.
Right.
I identify this way. You need to address me this way.
Right.
You're forcing everybody else to shift to where you are, and so there's less. It brings a new revelation to mastery of self. I have mastered being me, and now I want the world to adjust to the new version of me. And I think there is some issue with that, because now you've got a level of narcissism. People are so self-involved that they are not socially aware.
Yeah.
We're more sensitive to self and desensitized to the impact that we have on other people, because we want them to adjust to us.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that.
There's certainly a fashion of that, and I agree. The thing about our world is that it's a relative world, and that said, you can't experience anything without the opposite being available. So you can never know what it's like to be hot if there's no cold, black if there's no white. You can't have any experience again without the contrast. So understanding that there's an opportunity to be grateful for all of it, because without all of it, there's nothing. So the word that really stands out is bias. And oh my gosh, we have all kinds of biases, but they are part of our way of protecting ourselves, our protective nature. And we all kind of build these walls around ourselves. Hopefully there's a door, but just as we finish building them, we want to get outside of them. And it's a kind of an interesting part of being human, but realizing that the difference is what allows us to experience this journey called life is a really important part of moving through this differences that we all have.
Right. Definitely. Reese followed up. That's good, Reese. That's a good question. He said, there's a sense of bullying of others to believe and think and not focus on self-improvement. Yeah. I think it's the conformity of others and not just like, I'm working on myself, give me patience kind of thing, but more or less, I'm in this space. I need you guys to adjust because I'm changing, and it's kind of, it's getting more prevalent. And I feel he was like, everything is just straight with normal. Like I could just, have this and y'all just got to conform to where I'm at. So that's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah.
But I think to the earlier point though, AD, what Coach Wright was saying, part of mastery of self is the ability to adjust to the fact that your circle will change. You want to make these changes within yourself. You want to do something different. Sometimes your circle will have to change because of that. You can't be mad at people for not wanting to be connected to the new version of you. There's certain people that are stuck in the old version of you.
Right.
And they're not going to come along. That season has changed, and you have to. And mastering of the mastery of self means you have to adjust to the changing of seasons. You may not have the same list of friends, the same list of contacts. You may have your confidant. Confidant is there no matter where you are. But those other classifications of individuals of connections can change because I've learned this, man.
Right.
In a lot of cases, it's painful when you realize there's certain people that love you for the type of relationship that you have. In other words, they love you for what you can provide for them in the season that you became connected. Mm-hmm. And then once your provision changes, their treatment changes.
Right.
Not everybody can handle your shift. And mastery of self means having the ability to overcome losing some folks because you're going to gain.
Right.
That's the reality. And one thing I've learned is know who your lights are and know who your anchors are.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point. I'm sorry, in general, it said that, the 20% of the people that we know really impact 80% of our experience. So appreciating that is important too. So yeah, there's a lot to know about the differences that we all have, and again, understanding that that's the reason we're able to be here. If you take a thought, if I'm the only person on the planet, what would you want for yourself? What would you think about doing or being or having?
Right.
It's pretty interesting to think about that on an ongoing basis or a regular basis. And it's something that we all should do, and it kind of keeps you grounded in terms of our society and what it all represents and how it helps in this journey and what it means to each other, right?
Yeah.
And those experiences that we don't choose is okay, but we are aware of them, but we don't necessarily choose them. But I think imposing your choices on others, that's another matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was trying to say about how I felt earlier. When the media is like bullying me into these
right.
Into these I guess my thought process, because I'm like, man, what 20 years ago, it just wasn't like this. But like I say, I guess society evolves,
Right.
and I got to adapt and adjust to how it evolves or get left behind. But it sure is hard.
Sure is hard. So in your journey, right? And we talk about as the self-mastery, getting the discipline, and your circle begins to kind of shift or change. And just kind of like Jeff said, he said there's a lot of people that there are people who I'm no longer in my life, not because they had a falling out, but just life just evolves. Things just change. And, the same connections we've had are not the same, like they used to be back in the day. With that evolution or evolving into who you're becoming, right? Let me ask it, and this for you, all you guys. Do you find a group that just straight cultivates who you are, or a place that challenges who you are? And I know there could be a both, but is it more cultivation or challenging for you to be better, if that makes sense? Like in the direction
that's part of the evaluation.
Right.
Know where you're being fed, know where you're being challenged, and know where you're being disrupted.
Right.
There is a difference. That's what I mean by understanding angel lights and anchors. Sometimes an anchor, someone that has a hold on you, can actually hold you back.
Right.
Right. But there's also an anchor that keeps you grounded, keeps you humble.
Mm-hmm.
You have to recognize the difference in the roles that people play in your life and know how you're being fed. That's reality, because I don't want anybody around me that's not going to challenge me. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I want to be able to make sure that I have a safe space.
Okay. I got what you're saying.
That's a great point. That's a great point. The psychology says you are the summation of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So it's really like check your 5.
Right.
And if you are with 5 people who are struggling and challenged in ways that are obvious, guess what? You'll probably be number 6. So the 5 people that you spend the most time with is something to consider. If you desire to, have a certain experience, you need to be around people who are having that experience to some degree. And just understand, it's not a matter of severing those other people who may not be part of those 5, but you need to enhance and cultivate your desire in terms of what you want to become and be. And being pushed and pulled and stretched, it's going to happen regardless of if it's a great direction or not.
Right.
So your 5 is it's an important drop.
Right. Indeed. Jeff says, shout out right here. He said, absolutely. BOL has been a great source of growing and self-improvement for me. Listen to all you guys' perspectives on life helps me. That's right. BOL. Sam says so. Good morning. Hey, good morning, Sam. Great subject.
Good morning.
Like-minded people always. Yeah. I think that, it's always, and it's a constant roundabout on social media about finding your circle, finding the folks to be around, the right people to be around. It's going to support me. But I think at the same time, we need to be around folks that do challenge you, that do make you level up. And sometimes the challenge is not said, like you just around folks and they're like, yeah, this weekend me and the wife, or we did, like, man, what I got to do to get there? The wife did, man, my kids are doing, man, what I got to do to get there? What is it that I may be missing? Especially if you're around folks that are just having a particular vibe in their life, things that you're like, okay, what do I have to change to begin to experience what you're experiencing, and even asking those questions, and a lot of times what you find, of course, is, they've had to self-master in areas like, I had to stop doing this. I had to stop responding to this, I had to, or that way, stop leading with anger, things of that nature, and stop being impulsive. You'll start learning just being around the right people. And I mention that because sometimes we get comfortable in groups. You know,
Yeah.
if you leading the pack, you like, well, this group makes me feel good. Like I'm doing something in life, you know. And you can get comfortable. You can get comfortable.
You can get comfortable, and as subtle as it can happen, it's said that there's 1 of 4 things that happen when 2 people come together, and that is either you come over to my way of thinking, which is 1, or I come over to your way of thinking, which is 2, or we already think the same, and finally 4th, we part company. So one of those 4, in a very subtle way, typically happens. And being aware of that and having a consciousness of it is a big part of it that we need to move to and to embrace.
Right. Indeed. Oh gosh, what did Chris say? Chris said, I find myself being pushed and pulled and stretched every time I try to tie my shoes. I can't with you. Oh, Jeff said, like-minded people are good as a foundation, but also non-like-minded people are good as well, or good too. If I'm open-minded, I might learn something. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Sometimes
you don't want to be surrounded by a bunch of yes people.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
A little contradiction is good.
Yeah. It's maturation, people accepting as well, mature. Yeah, definitely. The older I got, the more mature I became. My brothers played a big role in that because I've seen their successes, all of them. Yeah, indeed, my brother, indeed. Yeah. So today we're talking about your passion, your purpose, your plan. I know some folks got to leave in a moment.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any departing words? Oh, make sure you guys follow this gentleman, Aaron Wright, Leap Foundation, right? Did I get it right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Right.
That's correct. I appreciate it. And I apologize. I do have to leave early, but again, very thankful for the opportunity to be in the presence of all of this energy today. Thank you so much, guys. And continue to create a great day. Have a great day.
Bless you, man. Talk to you soon.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right. So I got a question, right? So we talk about the purpose, plans, and things of that nature, and we talk about circles and upgrading, downgrading. I mean, I don't know if you downgrade your circle. I guess it can happen.
You can shrink your circle, but not downgrade.
You can shrink it, downgrade. Yeah. What if you go back to what's comfortable though? But that's
downgrading. That's you downgrading.
Right. Like I'm gonna go back to my old crew because
if my old crew is still hanging out there at the corner, they're where they've always been. If I excelled and then go back, I've changed.
Right.
I've slipped, not them.
Right. Oh no doubt. I mean, in my mind,
at the same time, I don't want to be mad at them for not coming to where I was listening to some guys on the radio, sports radio talk last night, and one guy asked the question. He said, "We've had this debate, man, and I want to know, can you think of what went triple platinum at your grandma's house back in the day? In other words, what was the most consistent, the greatest part of grandma's house?" I'm going somewhere with this.
No, I got you.
Went triple platinum. One guy says, "You know what? Does it have to be like a product that's for sale?" Or he was like, "No, whatever it is, whatever you thought was unchangeable, that went triple platinum at your grandma's house." And one guy said, "Man, every time I went into grandma's house, now my grandma had the plastic on the couches. I'm talking about, the Hulk Hogan phase, the, Roddy Piper, Randy the Macho Man Savage during that season, during that era. I go to grandma's house and you see the plastic on the couch. It's like, and you couldn't sit in there. It had to be a special occasion for you to sit in that living room. You couldn't just go in there on a Tuesday. There had special guests coming over to the house. Relatives that you hadn't seen in a year or whatever. That's how you got in there.
Something going down. You see people sitting in the living room like, Oh shoot, what happened?
He said, but before you get to the plastic couch, you
Yeah.
saw the candy dish.
Okay.
He said those little strawberry candies. He said, I don't know what you call them. He said they was wrapped in plastic that looked like strawberries. You open it up, it had a little soft middle in it. He said, man, that, and he said, and Werther's Originals. He said, I don't care what was going on when you were at grandma's house, you had to stop at the candy dish. The candy dish was triple platinum all day, every day. Watch this. Another guy says, my grandma still today uses the disposable cameras that you can go buy in the grocery store.
Wow.
That you have to, you have to get the
take it or send it in or whatever. Give
you got
it to somebody.
you got to take it to the drugstore,
Right.
have them develop the pictures. He says she loves the tangible. She loves to be able to hold the pictures in her hand.
Wow.
She's got, all these picture books, and all the way back to my childhood. He said, man, that little and the little Polaroid camera.
Yeah.
And he made me, the strawberry candy.
He
He also said, he also asked a question: is there anybody alive today that actually ate the butterscotch? Nobody ate the butterscotch. It had to be a really, really desperate day, but I'm getting away from it.
Good.
So anyway, he said, Grandma loved the Polaroid. She loved the still pictures, right?
Right.
And I got to thinking about that. I'm like, man, isn't that life? Certain people in life are a Polaroid. It's a snapshot.
Right.
They're in your life for a minute,
Right.
and they're gone.
Right.
It's a still shot. They see you for a moment, you see them for a moment, you get all you can get in that moment or whatever that season is, and then it's gone.
Right.
And other people are like part of a video. It's fluid, it continues to evolve.
Right.
And they're in your life, and you meet maybe one or two people like that in your life. But what I'm saying is, he said, I tried to convince my grandmother I wanted to buy her a cell phone so she could take pictures, take video. And she was like, no, that's too much for me. And I don't want to deal with that. He said, and I was getting frustrated. He said, but I realized that's her thing.
Yeah.
I can't be mad at her for liking the process. She likes the process of getting the camera, getting the film, taking the film to the drugstore, interacting with the people, and getting her pictures and reviewing her pictures. She says she loves that process. And she loves interacting with the people at the drugstore. So don't be mad at grandma because she still does it the old way, even though we have advanced well beyond that, right? Yeah. I still have a great relationship with grandma. I appreciate grandma. I appreciate her love and desire to get her pictures done the way that she does. I just don't do it that way anymore. Right. Not everybody's going to go where you go, but that doesn't mean that they'll have to be disconnected from your life.
True.
Right. True. Not everybody's habits will change with yours, but that doesn't mean they become your enemy.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. And so and what I've learned in life is I don't have any enemies.
Right.
You may not like me, but I love you.
Right.
We may not be talking just because we haven't spoken doesn't mean I don't like you or don't love you anymore.
Right.
We may not be in the same space. And those are the things that we have. That's part of that whole mastery of self. Don't like. Somebody said something. I think it was I was talking about the news yesterday, and I think Pastor Long was on here, and he said, "Sound like Pastor McCrory is hating a little bit on mainstream media." And that's not what it was. I was just happy to get fresh information,
right?
And information that hadn't been diluted, right? I'm not trying to put anybody down, but I just appreciate access to new information, right? And so what we have to make sure is that as we evolve, we don't put those behind us down.
Oh, no doubt.
Right?
Yeah.
What we want to do is try to pull people forward. The same way somebody has pulled you forward, and not everybody's going to be willing to do that. So I think that's all a part of understanding passion and purpose and the planning phase of it as well.
Yeah, I definitely believe you don't necessarily have to totally cut somebody off, but seasons change. You can see we hear like almost every day, and then in one season, Kadeem's schedule, everything just kind of shifts, and we may
don't try to put me in it.
Kadeem may just bounce out of here. He just be gone. Where you at, son?
All of a sudden,
you the man, you the host. If you don't show up, ain't nothing happening. Don't try to put me in.
Kadeem don't show up. I can't show up no more. because it can name. But yeah, definitely, seasons change and your context change, and a lot of times I think certain things kind of bring you together, but you can I don't know, feel like, hey, this is gonna be a long-term bond, and just because and schedules and things shift, and you're like, man, we used to talk every day, like all the time, and then we talk twice a year. I think things kind of shift all the time in relationships. We like I said, change of schedule, change of lifestyle, change of goals.
Yeah, but it's based on what
shift.
you want. I mean, you opened up the day talking about passion, purpose, and plan, and what is the
Right.
process for all of that. We
Yeah.
talked about that before. I remember, and Aaron Wright said something significant, man. He talked about understanding what you do well
Yeah.
compared to what the world needs.
Right. Right.
And being able to find your niche and monetizing what you do well. When you can serve the world something that they need and get paid
Right.
for it, especially when you're passionate about it, you feel a
Right.
sense of purpose behind it,
Yeah.
you will do well.
Yeah.
You find something that the world needs, you find something that we do well in America and take it to another country, you
Yeah.
will do very well.
Right. Right.
That's
True
the
indeed.
reality. The other piece is understanding what you want people to say about you when you're gone. Remember, we talked about that before. I was enlightened. Somebody said you should write your eulogy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? What would they say at your funeral? Well, I have no idea. Well, you can have an impact on what they say. Write your eulogy now.
Right.
And then operate in reverse and bring it to pass. Talk
Yeah.
about all the things that you expect people to say about you, and then build a plan to make those things manifest in your life.
Right.
And I'm like, that's built. If you want to build a vision, build a strategy for your life, write your eulogy.
No doubt. So I need y'all to celebrate AD Day when I go, the day I die. Never forget. I need you to wear t-shirts. Never forget AD.
Yeah. Habakkuk.
I thought about this episode of Different World.
The book of Habakkuk said, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision.
Right.
Right. And make it plain upon the tables, right?
Yeah.
That he may run that reads it. And he says, and it will come to pass, though it may tarry,
Right.
it will come to pass.
Right.
So when you begin to put those building blocks, when you put that strategy, you start to build that strategy. And I'm saying, I took it personal based on my eulogy. I started writing, and I'm going to do this. I want them to be able to say, Brian was able to impact these many lives. Brian was able to help this many people. Brian was able to conduct these types of services. He was able to do these things, and his family and his legacy and all those things. And you begin to write that stuff out. And the first time you read it, you feel dissatisfied. You start checking, you start modifying things.
Right.
You start highlighting. Now highlight the stuff that you want people to remember about you in your life. And how do I make that possible? What's the plan to make that possible? Now I have to, like Aaron was saying, master self.
Right.
Get in control of my schedule, get in control of my calendar, make sure I know how I'm spending my time.
Right.
And who I'm spending my time with. Is it constructive? Is it conducive to the building out and the manifestation of my eulogy?
Right.
If it's not measuring up, then I've got to be more careful and conscious about what I'm doing with my time.
Yeah, 100%. Your time is precious. What you're doing with it does matter where you spend it. Like here with us, does matter. I think that main thing is just having a plan. And when I talk about plan, plans are loose. Plans are fluid. Plans shift. And because even when you start out on your journey to finding self and self mastery and all of that, what you think you'll be doing 5 years from now will change. It will be something different, but it'll be in the same step of what your passions or your purpose, lines up with. There's never a direct plan. There's never a direct, access to all that you planned on doing. I think it's just we have to be fluid in what we're doing and what we're building. and open the shift, open the change, because seasons change, people change. You know, you start out with a group like, hey, we're gonna do this, and then you look around and it's not the same group anymore.
Yes,
not the same people.
Well, and that's the point. Like the story is constantly changing.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean the goal changes. Right. Jeff said, man, write my eulogy. I don't know, Pastor, that might be too sad for me, it seems. But what I realize is the eulogy, if you're still alive, it doesn't matter what they have said. Your eulogy is based on what you plan what you plan for them to say. See, that's what I love about writing it. Eulogy, my eulogy has changed 10 times since the first time I started writing. It changes. Because life, you make adjustments and you get revelations and all of those things, and you find new areas to work on. And so it can't be based on what has already happened to you. It's got to be based on what you expect to happen, what you look to happen. That's what it's about. Where am I going from here? Because if I live another 20 years, if my previous 20 was horrible and my next 20 is great, no one's going to think about the previous 20. That's the reality. I'm not living my life based on what people have said about me. I'm living my life based on what I expect my legacy to be.
No doubt. I want to kind of shift gears a little bit outside of this topic, because I got you
don't want to talk about death no more.
Death. No, I want to talk about death.
Death. See, y'all you get in it twisted, man. When I say eulogy, everybody thinks death.
Death.
It is death.
Not death.
Man. Listen,
in your mind, you have the correlation of what you mean. But the words that are coming out your mouth when you say eulogy means death. I want to write my own eulogy. I want to write what people think about me after I'm dead. That's what eulogy mean, ain't it?
No, and listen, when you're writing it now, I want to think about the things I want to accomplish in my life.
Okay, I understand that, bro, but
that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that's the point about stretching our mind. That's the point about getting out of what our thinking has been. Eulogy is a celebration of life. So let me build that celebration while I'm alive. The songwriter said, "Give me my flowers while I yet live."
So
your appreciation. What my whole thing is, when you're using the word eulogy, I can't think of no way other to think about it, is that someone is reflecting on the life that you had, and that's why they call it eulogy.
Right.
And I'm saying,
or a piece of writing.
Writing your own eulogy, you're reflecting on the life that you had, and it changes, like you said, it changes 10 times because you've lived 10 years, so you still
you keep you're holding on to a word instead of understanding where I'm coming from.
No, I understand where you're coming from, brother. It's not that I don't understand where you're coming from.
The word eulogy, you kind of change the word.
When you hear eulogy,
you try to change the definition of the word. You just use another word.
You said when you hear eulogy, you think death.
Where else do you use it? Where else do you use that word?
Because hold on, let me read the definition. I'm reading the definition. A speech or piece of writing that praises someone or something highly, typically someone who has just unalive, who just died.
Typically.
That's the use the word typically. I will say
but the point is, we emphasize death and we don't emphasize celebration.
Yeah, it's the celebration of life. Correct?
After death.
Right. But after you're dead, we're that's all I'm saying. Anyway, I mean, tomatoes, brother.
It's not tomato. It's really about.
I know what you mean because I know your heart. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm just saying, when you use that word, you would have to explain how you trying to explain it to me when I already know what you mean. You would have to explain that every time to someone else who had their mind on eulogy.
No, what I'm doing, that's not what I'm doing.
As quickly as you think.
Hold on. My point is, this is not for everybody. I can't do this with everybody.
Right.
Right. But what I can do,
you're on a national broadcast, so everybody is kind of like. That's why. Go ahead, bro. My bad.
That's good.
For those, listen, for those who know what BOL stands for. For those who know, thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you, dear. The point that I'm trying to make is,
you know your heart.
Nah. The reality is, right when you're doing it now today, you're building and designing a vision for your life.
Right. I get you.
Right. You think about the things that you want to be able to accomplish. Right. Before I leave this planet, I want to be able to do this, and this.
Right.
One of the best ways to visualize that is thinking about your legacy. And when you begin to write about what you want to be said, what you're accomplished to be after you're gone, I'm not saying write it to think about dying. I'm saying operate in reverse so that you can maximize your life.
It's kind of more goal related. Like, this is what I would want my life to be, or said about.
Yeah, because I'm not writing my death. I'm writing my life.
Right. So
and I say I understand that, but I'm just saying the word, just that word. That's
eulogy.
You don't even have to use that word.
Eulogy.
Everything you just said was eloquent. And you didn't even use the word eulogy.
All right. We could talk about this, but I started. Someone wrote a post about working at home. I think his point was like, for younger people may not be the best thing. Working from home, and I know, and I got Brian on it, who's been working from home for a long time. And I know you can are there cons? I know everybody thinks about the pros about working from home, be home, got the fam, you don't have to go to the office, traffic, all that good stuff. But would you say there are cons? I know for me, it would be like the human interaction. Some people like, I don't want to see anybody anyway, but the coworkers or the customers or whatever you're into. Do you see there are cons in working from home?
There are many cons.
Okay.
Working from home. Folks think you're unemployed.
You just got time. I know you're home. You're home.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I mean, I can see. I think you have to be a very mature person to work from home.
Okay.
I don't think well, I ain't never done it, but this is all an opinion of mine.
Let's go. It's all good.
I mean, as far as somebody fresh out of college, 23, 24 years old, working from home.
Right.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's up to the individual. I will say that. It depends on how the individual is they strong socially. Because if you're working from home, 7, 8 hours, 10 hours, and then you decide that you just don't, you're more of it creates that homebody. Well, when you do get out socially, you may be awkward, inept. You may have more challenges on,
especially
on
when
how
you're younger.
you handle. You know what I'm saying? Handle the situation. But this is young people.
Yeah.
Like early 20s. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say. Now, for somebody 35 and up,
that's working jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah, you probably have more of a grounded nature of how to move because you've had earlier interactions with social settings. But somebody young that just left your mama house and now you still in the house, pretty much all day, every day.
But I'm working though. I'm working.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but
I'm not chilling.
You in the house. You probably ain't earned too much as far as you Uber Eats, you Instacart.
I'm at work. I can't leave this. I can't leave.
You Amazon.com. You know what I'm saying? When you get out, it's like, do I have to? You know what I'm saying? Like,
do I have to really get dressed?
Yeah,
no, that's true. That's true. That's
but
true.
I'm thinking that's for young people though.
Yeah, I got to the point where I was like, I don't want to go anywhere. I'm so used to not going anywhere. I didn't want to go anywhere. So that's
even older. That's even older. Yeah.
And yeah, being older also, but also like to Kaneem's point, at a young age, you want that social development because it builds confidence, right? It broadens your horizon.
Right.
You know, you need to hear, you need to have that interaction with people, with the public, so that you can grow and
people
mature
that you haven't chose to be around, kind of thing. You know, people that are different. That's true too.
Yeah, because people who like think about programmers.
Yeah.
Someone who's been programming since they were a young child, and they get into programming as an adult, and programmers never leave their desk.
Right.
You can make a ton of money and you never leave home.
Right.
But in a lot of cases, I would say 75% of the cases, programmers are introverts.
Gotcha.
They don't get out. They don't want to deal with people. They don't when I talk to database administrators, DBAs, they're the worst kind of personalities to talk to when you're trying to get stuff done. And I hate to put that blanket statement out there because they're not good with human interaction. And that's a lot of people. They just want, give me the script. I need the program. It's, that's what they want. That's it. And they want to get right back to the screen. And I've seen that. I've been in IT long enough to where I would say 80% of the DBAs that I've interacted with, I would not hang out with socially.
I got you.
Right. So it is important to get out, to explore. I tell young people all the time, put your feet in foreign soil before you begin to settle down and stuff like that. See the world, get out, meet people, hang out, do nice things like that, so that you don't limit yourself. But as you get older, I would say, and you're mature and you have already had the experience. When I started working from home, I had already been traveling. I had already worked in corporate America. I'd done the commute thing. I'd done all that stuff.
Right.
And
it's kind of like you earned. I earned this. I earned this.
Graduation.
Yeah. To sit down and
but still, there were moments of struggle. Right. There are still moments of struggle. Right. People are so used to you being available. I have no control over my calendar working from home. People from New York can look on my calendar and see an open slot and they can plug in a meeting. Say, hey, I put this meeting down where you didn't even ask me if I was available. No, you just look and saw the slot, and that, people take you for granted like that. Your family, hey, can you run to the store? No, I can't run to the store.
You ain't on the call right now.
Yeah. I made an appointment for Cooper to go see the vet. Can you take him at 2:00? I have a meeting at 2:00. Are you kidding me? I mean, that stuff happens. People take that stuff for granted.
Yeah,
they really do. And it can be frustrating sometimes. People look at you, be like, "Oh, you ain't doing nothing. You just at home."
Yeah, I mean, but as we get older, I can see us doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like you said, Brian, I mean, we didn't been through that. We didn't. Yeah. We've had those bumps and bruises along the way to be able to, I guess, appreciate.
I'm in the 1,000,000-mile club in the sky.
Yeah, you'll be able to appreciate the stay-at-home job.
Right.
Yeah.
But fresh out of college, fresh out of school.
Yeah, man. I'll be right here.
That's a whole lot different.
All right. Appreciate you, man.
All right, bro. Have a good one, man.
Close it out.
All right.
Yeah. That's I mean, yeah. I think to me, like, I wouldn't want my children to start off at home like that.
Not fresh out. I mean, they at home now.
Yeah.
And what they do.
Right.
What they do at home now. Because mine do a whole lot of nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now that you're getting paid, you're gonna do that, and then you're gonna get off work and do a whole lot of nothing.
Right. Just be in the same place.
You ain't used to getting up. You ain't used to
going out.
Your whole thing is that I'm gonna go to work in my pajamas. I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Unless I gotta be
getting up, jump clean. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I put on my brand new shoes, my brand new outfit. You know what I'm saying? I'm go to the barbershop, give me a fresh cut.
Right.
I might go and get me a little something.
Yeah.
Go out, step out, feel good, look good. Let your mouthpiece work a little bit for you, even though you might get shot down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
But the point about it is you out there.
In the world,
it's a mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just a mind thing. Because I know that's how I felt. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go out here and work my mouthpiece, see what it will, blah blah blah. Right. You know what I'm saying? I might get turned down 100 times. You know what I'm
saying? Right. Yeah,
but just the fact that I'm having fun getting turned down.
Right. I hear you. I mean, I agree with you. I think there is some variance when it comes from work from home. You know that, just if you don't have to get enough social, like I said, you get to go to a job and be around people that you ain't choose to be around. You get to hear opinions that you ain't asked for, like interactions, and you might learn something like, I didn't look at it that way.
It's a guarantee you're gonna learn something.
Yeah,
guarantee. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it be information you never use in the future,
right?
It's still something that you just I didn't know that. Okay,
right.
I probably never use that in a sentence, but yeah, thank you. Okay, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No doubt. Oh, so thank you guys for being here. Let me put this up. Jeff said Kim actually works from home for the state of Oregon Employment Department. She actually holding a poodle while she denying someone benefits. That's just so wrong. That's just so wrong.
Hey, I'm pretty sure you can't get your benefits. You got somebody eating on Burger King burger who eats French fries.
No, I'm sorry. You did you have that other paperwork? Oh well, nope, I can't get that to you.
Hey Clara, you got some ketchup? Denied.
Right. There's a lot of benefit to being in the public, indeed. All right, so we're gonna get out of here. Appreciate you guys for being with us. Another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring. Let everybody know that we're on Tuesday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, be blessed, keep pushing, keep growing. 988, you or someone you love is having a mental health crisis. 988. And know that Jesus loves you. Know that we love you. Jesus loves you better. All right, so stay safe, make good choices, and we out of here. Peace out.